if you agree with me that maintaining multiple exchange rates has not been the best for the country. And anytime you create room for arbitrage, people take advantage of it. So you saw situations where people can sit in the comfort of their homes and make hundreds of millions of naira simply because central bank allocated dollars to them at the official window, and they will just round trip it and sell at the black market window. So I think it's something that we have been shying away from. I call it subsidy. Some people call it something else, but it's subsidy. Anytime you subsidize, particularly if you are subsidizing consumption rather than production, it gives you the effect that you never really anticipated. It is also good news that as we are converging all the exchange rates, that our production and our levels of export are going up. Now, I know where your question is going. So what happens to the money that the central bank makes or is going to make from this convergence vis-a-vis the receipts from oil proceeds? Don't also forget that for the first time in this country, our total debt has crossed $100 billion. I think it's about $104 billion. We are using close to 120% that has just been reduced to 85% of our total revenue to service debt. So we have a lot of obligations. It's a very difficult time to be in government. So I believe that with the transparency that is being shown, and then you can actually ask questions, that we are at that point where we can say the economic situation will get better, but it gets difficult because before it gets better. So the challenges are going to be there, but over time, consistency will lead us to the promised land.
Specifically on the issue of National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, NEC had and received recommendations on the various ways and means that the country can use whatever increases that we have in the revenue to mitigate the impact that is going to make on the lives of our workers and all those people involved. And so they recommended, and they gave us a scenario recommending that there should be an adjustment, consequential adjustment, estimated at 702 billion to 919 million 8 naira as part of the allowances that should be given as petroleum allowance to all workers, and as well as a 23 or to 45 billion monthly offer to cushion the effect to workers.
There were also discussions about the fact that post-deregulation, we've seen a big drop in the consumption of PMS in the country. The drop has gone from 66 million liters a day to about 41 million liters a day. But in the last 1 week or so, we began to see a creep up. And there were discussions around the fact that all of us realized that we were subsidizing all our neighbors from Cameroon to Ghana to Benin to Chad to Niger. We looked at the pricing before the regulation in those countries. When we were selling for about 195, they were selling for about 300, 395. Now we're selling for upwards of 550 naira per liter. And suddenly the prices in those countries have jumped up to 700 and 800 naira per liter. And we wondered, why would those prices jump up? But obviously, the fact is that those countries will continue to depend on us for PMS supply, because most of them do not have the wherewithal in terms of foreign exchange to even import PMS. So regardless of whether we deregulate or not, which we have done, we will continue to see smuggled PMS across the borders.
Part of the issues that we discussed today is palliative measures to mitigate the effect of the petroleum subsidy through the NGK's program. As you are aware, NGK's program is a program that have started 2021, running up to 2024, and then is to provide some emergency and palliatives social needs on so many issues ranging from small farmers holders, MSMEs, and other interventions. It's a 750 million USD from the World Bank, and it has commenced a long time ago. And some of the recommendations that were made include the state case platforms have a strong capacity to handle the implementation of palliatives to the new and existing poor and vulnerable individuals, household and farmers, local economy operators in the country. Additional funding can be sourced from the federal government, World Bank, development partners, as well as Nigerian private sector. In specific, the World Bank can be approached for additional financing on NGK's program. Discussion can start as soon as possible.